You good?
All the way over there today. Hi!
No, sorry, you're still in the middle.
We're there. Hi everybody, hope you're all okay. Happy Monday. Sorry, excuse me, I'm real scratchy with the allergies today. Hope you all had a lush weekend. I saw my baby grandson, so I'm a happy bunny. He's got so big already. He's only 6 weeks old. He's huge. Proper little chunker. He's lush. So I had a good weekend. I hope you guys all did too, which would be nice. What are we doing today? We're going to do the Twisted Pole demo, which I can't believe we haven't done because it's one of the first patterns that I ever wrote up and we taught in the shop and stuff. So we're going to do that today. But first of all, we've got a raffle to do. So Sean put this up yesterday. It took less than an hour to sell out. They're getting quicker and quicker. We're going to have to give you like warnings. They're going live in 10 minutes so that you can all get ready. Fastest fingers type thing. So this one was Beautiful Britain. Yeah, amazing. It sold out so quickly. It was crazy. So Josh, we're going to come up nice and close for me. We're going to pull this. So let me get my nail under there. Somebody give me a drum roll, please. So it was Beautiful Britain. So it was all different lovely places in Britain. This one's coming up relatively easy. There we go. And pull this back. And the reveal, the winner is Exmoor. So Exmoor is... Oh, I can't see it. Dartmoor. Exmoor. Hilary Nichols. Hilary, you're the winner of this one. Beautiful Britain. The winner, as you can see, was Exmoor on this one. So congratulations, Hilary. We will we'll be in touch. You obviously get your 3 meters of fabric, your meter of wadding, and then all the other bundle of stuff. So I forgot to bring it over with me, but you've got needles and rotary blades and fabric and all sorts in there. Okay, so yeah, we'll give you a shout and we'll get that out to you once you've chosen your fabric. So congratulations, Hilary. I'm going to slide that under there so I've got it safe. Like that. What else have I got to tell you? Sorry. Oh, it's so itchy today. It's driving me potty. Scrap bags. Our own scrap bags. We've got a few more. So I think there's about 10 more gone onto the website. So I know, Nikki, you were asking about them last week. We have got a few more there. So they're the 2 meters of fabric by weight for £5. And they are on the website. There's a very, very limited stock of them though. So I think there's 10. So go grab those if you want to. So who are we saying hello to today? Who's there?
It's Jean. Hilary's here to say thank you.
Ah, well done. Hi, congratulations, Hilary.
Grace is here.
Hi, Grace.
So
hi, Jean.
Carol, Wendy,
hi, Carol.
Marion.
Wendy, Marion. Hi, everybody. Hello. Fabulous, lovely. So we're going to do a bit of a demo on the Twisted Pole, and I'm going to show you 2 ways of doing it. So traditionally, it was done with solid fabrics. So this one here, this is the Twisted Pole here. Okay. This one I've done scrappy. This one I've done with all 1.5 inch strips, and I'm going to show you this method as well. But I thought I would it's incredibly simple. It's a real optical illusion, this one. Basically, it's this little block here, this little piece here, repeated over and over and over. So it's 6 squares, half square triangles, repeated. Okay? I'm going to show you in solids, and then I'm going to show you how to do this stripy method if you fancy having a go. We have got a full pattern on our website. We've taken this one onto a chanda, and you can also play around with it. So like the pole bit, which is the bit that runs down, doesn't have to be the same as the background fabric. You could do this in a different colour so it looks like an actual pole with the fabric twisted round it. Okay, so you can play around with that too. I've done some half square triangles already. This was out of a charm pack, so there were 5 inch squares made into half square triangles and then squared up to 4.5. I'm going to show you all that when I do the string one, but I thought I'd just show it you in a square, in a solid, well not solid because it's pattern fabric, in a non-string quilting method, just with charm packs. This is a brilliant one for charm packs. It's also really, really good if you make big half square triangles. You can make quilts very quickly. Sarah did one all in spray time, and she used 7 inch squares. I think it was 7 inch squares. I'll put a picture on our Facebook later. 7 inch squares, and made 4 poles because they come out big. Most beautiful quilt. Really, really lovely. So you've got your half square triangles. So I don't know if you want to come down, Josh, like this. And you're going to line them out. And I'm going to try and do this towards you. Okay. So you want 2 like that, so that the arrows go in that way. And you want 2 the other side, so the arrows go in like that. So this is like your left and right. Okay. And then your middle ones, I've got to remember how this way round this is. That one is going like that. Yeah. And then this one is going the opposite way, like that. Okay. And then when you put that together, there's the start of your twist. Okay. So if I just take this one down a second, it's incredibly simple. If you can do half square triangles, you can do that. So hopefully you can see, if I put those down a minute, I'm going to scroll that down a bit, Josh, and put that like that. Can you see that that's the same as that? Okay, so this was just using the Eleanor's Endeavours charm pack that I just had lying around a few squares from it. Okay, and you can see that you've got those 2 going out like that, and then you've got those 2 opposite like that. The next blocker is exactly the same. And you just keep repeating this block, however long you want your table runner to be, until you get that lovely twist going on. Okay. If you wanted the pole bit, which is this bit here that's running through, so if we go back to the one on the desk, Josh, this one here, okay, you would make these in the same colour. So say my background was cream, I could make these in, say, I don't know, a solid navy. And then it would look like you had the pole running up through. It's as simple as that, okay? And you can do it with any size half square triangles. Makes it really, really effective. Like I said, Sarah made that beautiful quilt, and she did 4 like poles, but she used much bigger half square triangles. I think they might have been 8" or something she started with. Okay, so I'm going to show you the string method, which is this one. Which again, you know, I love a scrappy project. Oh, got it, Josh? Yeah. There we go. You know I love a scrappy project. You know I like using up all those little tiny bits of fabric. And that's where this one came from, was using all the scraps I had it literally right on my table at the time to make this one. So I'm going to pin this one back up. Lost my pins. Let's pin it back up. So any questions there, just while I'm pinning this back up?
No. Jackie says she missed the start but loves your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Zara, I had a little spend on Zara.
Caroline says, when I made some for Xmas presents, I did the pole in a different fabric, so
yeah.
It stands out. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. It looks lovely with use all background fabric, but if you want the pole to stand out, you're going to make these half square triangles in a different fabric. Okay, so I literally took a 5" square. Let me just do this very quickly for you guys. Let me find another 5" square of, you know, charm packs, because you don't even have to do any cutting then. So I've got a 5" background charm. This is the Moda Creme, which we've got on the website, and this was the Eleanor's Endeavour one that we had. It's one I was using for demos on Chanda, so I've got them left over. So Eleanor's Endeavour. You're going to put them right sides together, diagonal line, stitch down either side, and then square up to 4.5. So it's a quick project, particularly if you use charm packs, because it's all done for you. Okay. So, however, if you want to play around with your scraps, which is what I'm going to take you through now, this is a really nice way of doing it. I think this is quite effective. Like this, you've got some. Oh, you're right. Is the gimbal playing up today?
He's just being slow. It likes really slow
it's
panning
like,
up.
Slow pan rather than fast pan. Any other questions or comments there, guys? Anybody having a chat before we get
Claire
started?
says she can't wait to have a go at it.
It's a really, really easy little project. Really cool pattern. Look, again, it's one of those ones that looks way more expensive. Not expensive. What's the word? Intensive. That's the word I was trying to find. Right, so if you want to do the scrappy one, you want, so I've cut out of all my scraps as many 1.5" strips as I could, okay? This would also work brilliantly for a honey bun, which we have got a few left on the website. If you've got honey buns there, or you don't want to do any cutting, honey buns, this works brilliantly, okay? So we're just going to, don't think about it too much, we're just going to stitch these down. Doesn't matter that they're different lengths. I'm just going to roughly put them together, okay, like this. And I want about 5 or 6 strips. So let's have a little bit of that bright one. Let's have that one out of there and have a bit of bright in there. Okay, so this side was just cut out. I literally grabbed a handful of scraps out of one of my scrap buckets, ironed them and cut as many 1.5 inch strips out of it as I could. We're just going to stitch these together. So we're literally going to put them right sides together like this, and I'm going to stitch down there. Okay, so I'm going to make all these pairs like that. In fact, actually, let's have a slightly longer one than that. Let's have that one. There we go. So I think I've set by 6 there. That's plenty. Just to cut a couple of squares. We're going to stitch these pairs together. We're going to iron them out and then stitch them together again. Okay. So we're going to over to the sewing machine and talk to me, please, ladies. What have you been up to? What did you do this weekend? Anything exciting? Anybody? You know, you had haircut. I finally got my husband to have his haircut. He was looking really dodgy. So I don't think he'd had his haircut for about 8 months, so got him to have his haircut.
Leslie says it looks great. She missed the winner.
The winner was Hillary. It was Exmoor, and it was Hillary Nichols. So.
Jean says she loves the scrap twisted fabric.
Yeah. It just again, I love the idea of not having to cut into new fabric. You know, we've all got those silly little bits or leftover jelly rolls and stuff like that that just sit around, and you need sort of 5.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and you can use this in this.
Karen says, "Wow, it was ages ago I posted it. Thank you for remembering and liking it."
What was that, lovely? Sorry.
Carolyn says, "Wow, it was ages ago I posted it. Thank you for remembering it and liking it." I don't know if you liked something recently with Carolyn.
I might have liked something recently. Yeah, sorry, lovely. Oh, it's been one of those mornings. My brain's not quite in gear. I think it's because I'm tired. Lot of driving yesterday.
Unless someone else is talking to her in the comments,
maybe,
and I've completely missed that question.
Josh might have missed a question.
Marion says, "I've been making red work cards."
I saw, yes, on the Gigglers page you posted them. Yeah, they're very addictive, aren't they? Those little bit of red work, and it's such a nice little project to do and finish quickly. So as you can see, I'm not really concentrating. I'm just putting the right sides together. If you can put them all in a bag and just pull them out, so it really is random. Works really well. You get a really nice randomised thing then. But you might decide that you're going to do it all in, blues. So pull out all your blue scraps and just cut them up to 1.5 inches. Okay.
Carol asks, "How do you square up a half square triangle if you don't have a diagonal line on your ruler?"
Ooh. Okay. You can do it. I'll try and show you in a moment, love. I'll try and show you.
Leslie says, "Thanks for making Easter gifts. I have a lots of scraps, so looking forward to making one of these."
Oh yeah, go for it. It's a brilliant use of your scraps, and you can make them like I said, you can make them any size at all. So it'd be lovely for like summer garden, when the summer eventually arrives, out on your patio table and all. Ooh. Oh, did it just die?
I think I ran up, turned itself off there.
Oh, you might have to.
There we go.
I don't think the gimbal got charged over the weekend. You might end up having to hold the phone.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay. So I think it's just been sat. So I've sewn these pairs together, just ironing them out. Okay, just iron them all one way. Okay, so I've got little pairs, and then I'm going to stitch those pairs together, and you're just going to make enough for whatever size half square triangle you want. Okay, so I know that sounds silly, but if you're going to do really big half square triangles and you're going to do them with like a layer cake, and you want them to be 10 by 10, you just keep adding scraps together, strips together, like we've done before with like string quilting and stuff. So I'm going to stitch those together. Yeah, I think the gimbal's gone left. Right, sorry, you're going to have to probably take it out of the... bear with us 2 seconds, ladies. Yeah, the gimbal's run out of power. I can see it's flashing on the side. Right, going to have to take the phone out, and you're just going to have to hold it, Josh.
Let me see my giant hands for a second.
Yeah. Sorry, ladies. 2 seconds.
Get rid of that.
Technology fail.
Right,
okay, cool. Right, so I'm now going to stitch these 3 pairs together. But you would just keep doing this to make fabric to cut into. So I'm going to stitch this one to this one. So with Josh, we're going over here. Sorry, ladies. Might be a bit wobbly now, the camera work, because Josh is going to have to brace it. There we go. So going down these ones, I'm just going to very quickly put this together. it's one of those real methodical, you can switch your brain off because there's really not much of a pattern to it. So I'll see if I can show you how to do half square triangles without a line as well on your ruler. So, okay. There we go. Right, let's just do this last little seam and then I can show you this little bit. So any other questions, comments there, Josh?
Marion says she's made a fabric bosal basket.
Ah, nice. That was one of the ones we did on Hajanda, wasn't it? But I saw it on Gigglers. You did it in like is it a lavender fabric? One of the bee kind fabrics? It's very pretty. There we go. Right, okay. Ooh. Cut the thread. I cleaned my machine out as well before I started sewing at the weekend. Some of you might have seen it on the Gigglers. I only did it 3 weeks ago. Couldn't believe how filthy it was, how much fluff was in there in that short space of time. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so you're going to make yourself fabric out of all your strips and scraps. I kept it at 1.5 because I think when you're doing small squares, if you do 2.5, you're only going to get like 2 strips in, 2 and a tiny bit. Skinnier strips work better, I think, in this point. And then I'm going to cut myself a square out. So again, these could be any size. For the one behind me, I did 5-inch squares. So we're just going to do that again. We're going to do 5-inch squares. So I'm just going to make sure my 5 and my 5 is within the fabric and get out. So the other thing I'm looking for here, so can you see? So this little pink one here is like my shortest bit. There is my shortest bit. So I'm going to line my 5-inch line on that shortest bit. And the other thing I'm going to look for is a horizontal along one of the seams to get it as near as damn it sort of as square as I can. Okay, so I'm going to cut myself a 5-inch square out of this. There we go, like that. Okay, you all right, Josh?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do it this way as well. So I want a 5-inch square out of this. Now I wouldn't, because it's slightly bigger, I wouldn't go too close to like this seam here. Okay, I would kind of make sure that I've got at least a quarter, half an inch either side when I'm cutting it, because otherwise you've just got a lot of bulk right on the very edge. Okay, so like that, and like that. There we go. Okay, and you cut yourself as many of those. So I could cut another one out of this. If these were longer strips, but that piece there I'd keep for a mile a minute. I've got another little bit here. So I could do the same on this one, just cut myself a 5-inch square out of this one. Okay, like that. Oh, my nose is so itchy today, ladies, sorry.
I think it's something around here, because mine is as well.
I don't know whether it's a touch of hay fevery stuff starting or whatever, I don't know. Okay, like that. Now, the other thing that I would do with this is I wouldn't do the normal half square triangle method. I would actually do these, I would do these on the bias, okay? Because of the amount of seamage you've got here, if you do try and do that quarter inch either side of a drawn line, it can get a bit messy. So I would actually cut these in half on the diagonal, okay? So I'd cut these in half on the diagonal to start with. Now I know these are now bias seams, but it works. It does work. The Americans do this all the time. And then I would put my background fabric on like that and like that, and then I would stitch down. Okay, it seems to work better. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why, but when you've got a lot of seamage going on, I found it easier to do it this method rather than trying to do the 2 lines and then cut up. It just seemed neat. It just worked better for some reason. Genuinely don't know why.
Can you use that method to square up a triangle ruler without a line for it, a diagonal line for it?
Oh no, you can't. But I'm going to show you that now. So what I'm going to do is just stitch down these, okay, like that, and this one. No, I would draw a line. I'm going to show you now. So.
Pamela says she's going to see you on Create and Craft on the 17th.
on the Creative Craft shows. Yep, I'm on the 17th. Yeah, the tickets are available for that. We are doing, I'm doing a really nice demo actually. But there's like, I think they've got a new den as well. There's a printing and felt making den at this time. They've got like 60 hours of crafting and all, which is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, if you haven't got a diagonal line on your ruler, I would literally draw one in. Okay, literally draw one in. So, 2 seconds. Let me just do that. Okay, so I could now square these up. Right now, they probably don't need squaring up much. They really don't. Let me see if I can show off. I don't think I've got a ruler that hasn't got lines on it. So what I would do if I was trying to square these up and I didn't have that 45-degree line to lie down, I would literally use, you can get really thin masking tape, or you could get a Sharpie and permanently mark it. But if you don't want to permanently mark your ruler, I would get that really, really thin masking tape and look for, let me just see if I've got a piece of paper so you can see the ruler a bit better. Okay. Piece of white paper underneath this ruler. Okay. So, you want to look for where the inches intersect. So, where your 2 and your 2 intersect, so you can see that there's 45 is on my ruler, but say they weren't on there. Okay. Where the 2 and the 2 intersect, there, I would put a little mark there, okay? And then maybe go down to 4 and 4 and intersect where the 4 and the 4 is, and then like the 6 and the 6, okay? And you could then just use a normal ruler like that in those lines, and you could draw a Sharpie, use a Sharpie and permanently mark your ruler. If you don't want to permanently mark your ruler, you can buy really thin masking tape. Okay, and lie down, literally put a piece of masking tape all the way along so that the edge of the so imagine this is masking tape, you'd stick it down so that the edge of the masking tape goes through those points where like the 3 and the 3 intersect and the 4 and the 4 intersect. Okay, so that you've got a line marked on your ruler to follow. Does that make sense, ladies? And then, so imagine that that's my piece of masking tape, because I haven't got any around here anywhere at the moment. Okay, so my yellow bit would be a nice piece of masking tape on there. Then when I'm squaring up, I can use the edge of that masking tape. Well, imagine that line now is the edge of the masking tape. I can use the edge of the masking tape along that diagonal line as the mark on my ruler. Did that make sense? Is that okay, ladies? Do you get what I'm talking about with that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. You would then just square these up, just like we did, like you would do normal half square triangles. Okay, so I want to square these up to 4 by 4. So I'm going to go across there like that. And then, not 4 by 4, 4.5 by 4.5, sorry. Okay, like that, okay. And we'll do that with this one as well. And then you would just lie them out, just like we did the other one. I haven't ironed that very well. 2 seconds, we just iron that one. I would also iron them towards the plain fabric rather than into the bulk of all those seams. I know normally we say towards the dark side, but with something like this where you've got all those seams, I'd iron them towards this bit. Okay. Any other questions or comments there, love?
No, everyone's saying that's a great way. They didn't realise they could do it that way. It's a great idea.
With the ruler?
With the ruler.
Yeah. Because some rulers, you get some really fancy rulers and all, like free on magazines, but they don't necessarily have all the lines on. So, it's the 45. See, Carolyn's going to be proud of me now because this is maths. Because like if you look at the 2 and the 2, that's a right angle there, isn't it, where they intersect. So the point in between has got to be a 45-degree angle. Don't tell me how you work out. Don't ask me how you work out the 60s and 30s, because I've got no idea. But I know that the 45 goes through all those intersections, so you can do that. Okay, right. Did I square that one up? I don't think I did I? No, I didn't square this one up. Let's just do that quickly. Any other questions there, ladies?
No questions, no comments right now.
Okay, so we would just square these up just like we do any other half square triangles. And because I've used 5 inches, these will square up to 4.5, like that.
Caroline says go girl.
Hey, I got it right. Okay, and you would just make lots and lots of these, just like we did with these ones, and you'd lie them out exactly the same. So you would have 2 go in that way, and I'm going to use these again because I haven't got time to make all 6, and 2 go in that way. Okay, so there's your left hand side and your right hand side pointing outwards. Okay, and then these ones in the centre, you've got 1 facing that way like at the bottom, and then 1 like that at the top. Okay, but you could just use all your scraps to make that lovely stripy section. Okay, which is all I did with this one. So I just made lots and lots of those, literally just sewed lots and lots of little 1.5s together, cut out my squares, put them onto a plain fabric and used them all up. Okay, the other thing you can do with these, okay, is they would do really good quilt as you go. So, oh, excuse me, my itchy nose is driving me insane. I'm so sorry if I keep rubbing my nose, but it's like, oh. So I made 4 bigger half square triangles. Okay, so these were 10 by 10. So I had a layer cake. You want to, we've got them on the website. The Moda Bella Solids and the Moda Grunge layer cakes, and I made 10-inch. So I used a honey bun, and I just sewed my strips, and cut 10-inch squares out. Cut them both in half, just like we did with this one, and then did them as 4 little squares. Okay, so I quilted it onto, so I made that, put it onto wadding and back in, quilted into it, made 4 of them, and that would be like a little cushion front. And then I've quilted you go as them to get, quilt as you goed them. That's not good English. I did quilt as you go to put them together. You could make lots of these, so you could make these up as you've got your scraps, as you've got time, you just want a bit of sewing, make a block, put them in a pile, and when you've got enough, you could either, like, it's a nice big cushion cover, or you could keep going, make a table runner, you could make a quilt, just quilt as you go them together. Okay, but then you've got really nice interesting back on your quilting as well then. Okay, so any questions, any comments?
Pamela says Josh must be good at quilting by now. Not actually done any.
Have you picked up any tips? Oh, can I get you on the front of the camera?
Probably.
Should we get Josh to do something? Should I get him on the front of the camera with me, like we did with Drew all those months and months and months back? Now we'll get Josh doing something, shall we? Let's teach him something. See how get some boys interested in sewing.
Sonia's drawn lines on most of her rulers.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason why you can't do that if they're not on there.
Angela asks, is it suitable for beginners?
Oh, absolutely, love. Yeah, this one. Is this what you're talking about, or are you talking about something else?
I believe so. It's when.
Yeah, this string quilting, really, watch this back, lovely, really easy. If you can sew 2 pieces of fabric together, you can absolutely make this. Yeah.
Kate says quilt as you went.
Quilt as you went, yes, I quilt as you went. I like that. I think quilt as you goed.
Do you have any tonal vineyard extra wide, 108 inches wide?
We have got some of the tonal vineyards in stock. I can't remember what colours. They should be on the website. If you can't find them on the website, give us a call. I'll be in the shop this afternoon, so yeah, give us a call if you can't find them on the website. But there are some. I'm not sure which colours we've got though.
George Clooney sews.
George Clooney does sew. There you go, Josh. I'm going to do that next week, Josh. All right, but next week you're going to be this side with me. Oh, okay. We'll get Alex to film, and I'll get Josh on this side of the camera. We'll get him doing something, shall we? Carrie would like that. She would think it was funny because Carrie started sewing a little bit, hasn't she? Carrie would think that was funny. Get the girl involved. Anything else there?
No. Jean says Josh can join George Clooney in sewing.
Yeah, there you go. We'll make you the George Clooney of sewing, Josh, shall we?
Oh, great.
Yeah. Cool. nice, easy little project and brilliant for your scraps. Okay, so I'm back tomorrow. We're going to do a little bit of Seminole quilting tomorrow. We're just going to touch on a couple of little techniques with Seminole. It's quite a vast thing, but we're going to have a little look at some of the patterns and how best to kind of make sure you nest in and all that sort of thing. Wednesday we've got a block, and then Thursday Sarah is doing basting on your own. She's going to show you how to do basting. So I've got a Zoom class on Thursday, so she's going to do that from the shop. It's on the Easter weekend, so the shop will be shut Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. We're going to have 4 days off. So if you want anything ready for sewing over the Easter weekend, you might want to get, last postage will be Thursday. Okay, so make sure you get it in by sort of midday Thursday, and then we'll be able to get it in the post for you. Although that might not come on Friday, mightn't it, because of bank holiday posting, but sooner the better, basically. If you can have a weekend, Easter weekend to sew in, and you need anything, give us a shout. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to go because Josh is starting to get a bit wobbly, bracing that phone. And I will see you tomorrow, guys. Have a lovely Monday. See you tomorrow.